You're tuned into Fork Podcast. This week, we're talking to Jean Hamilton Philippe. He's an entrepreneur with a vision for a better world, and he shares how he stays motivated through the challenges on the path to success.
I just keep pushing myself and motivate myself every morning just to be sharp mentally and just to always focus on the positive side of what can happen.
Hi, you're tuned into Fork Podcast. I'm Sean Chris Lewis, your host, and today we're sitting in with Jean Hamilton Philippe, close friend and whom I refer to as the Coffee King. Hamilton, welcome to Fork Podcast.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, Sean.
Well, as I referred to you as the Coffee King,
Yeah.
why don't you tell people why do I refer to you as the king, dude? Why is that?
Well, probably because I'm trying to bring the coffee back on the market, and a coffee that was well known before 200 years ago. And I believe that it's only a king with his
The
empire.
deep vision of the king. All right, so you have definitely earned the rank of king now, dude. You're just bringing things back. You're bringing the coffee brand back, Mokafe.
Mokafe, yes.
Okay, so tell us, how did that get started? How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. How's a 28-year-old young man get tied up in the coffee business? Probably one of the most competitive businesses I could think of.
Alexandre Gardel, my business partner, was the instigator actually of the coffee import here in Canada. Back in 2016, I went to Haiti with my father trip. We went to the Royal de Cameron in Haiti. And it was my first time coming back to Haiti since the age of actually 12. And it was emotional. It was at the same time also very sad to see the situation in Haiti, and the people actually living in those conditions. I remember saying to my father, "Oh, Dad, it will be so interesting to actually, trying to do something with this country, whether it's importing a product or, selling a product or trying to bring something actually valuable from this country on the Canadian market." Not even a month later, Alexandre Gardel called me and he was like, "Oh, I started this business of coffee import with Haitian coffee. And do you want to be part of it?" And this is how we started. He was the main guy who actually had to bring an idea to bring the coffee on the market. So this is actually how we started.
But you're talking about importing coffee from Haiti.
From
Now,
Haiti.
as I understand it, the infrastructure of Haiti is quite in disarray, getting things done there. I mean, I was just reading not long ago that electricity, the country dumps tons of money into electricity, yet they practically have no electricity.
For sure that when, you're dealing with a country with political instability is always a stress sometimes when you want to import your product. But at the same time, those guys who actually are owner of the brand Mokafe, Stéphane Martin, who is actually a brilliant, young guy who has also like a vision for the international market. They've been around it's the fourth generation, by the way, who are taking over. And they've been dealing with, instability, political instability for so long. So they know how to manage their business and how to be efficient as well on the international market and even on the local market as well. So in terms of, distribution is not a problem because, we import the coffee by plane. But in terms of the groundwork, they're able to actually deal with so many obstacles. Yeah.
All right. Sell me on the coffee, man. It's not hard to sell me on coffee, dude.
Yeah.
I love coffee.
Yeah.
Like 4 cups every morning kind of thing. But what would you say is the high point of a Mokafe cup of coffee? Does it make me smarter?
Yeah.
I need something that makes me smarter.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, but yeah, so the value of that, the coffee tastes really, really, really good. They picked the best bean actually right now for the international market at 1400 altitude. And yeah, it's the best bean so far in the market.
As I understand, it's organic.
It's organic, yeah.
Now, I just wanted to ask you, when we were first talking about your coffee and you mentioned that it's organic, this is super important to us here. Like, it's become a thing, right? Organic coffee, because apparently it's heavily doused with pesticides and things like that. Do people growing coffee in Haiti care about that? Is this just an accidental positive side effect? Or do the actual growers say, let's keep this organic? Or is it just by default that's how it happened. The coffee just happens to be organic, or was this thought out?
Yeah, coffee has always been organic in Haiti. Organic is something really important for the farmers. It's a tradition that has been passed down for many generations, and something that will continue in Haiti. Yeah.
Wow. So how are you tying that in with your brand then? So you have this organic brand, Mokafe.
Yep.
Great quality. It's coming out of a country that certainly needs innovation and needs business investment and all that stuff. How are you tying? Do you see yourself as being a superhero for Haiti? Do you see yourself as somebody who's really trying to do some value that brings the value back to your homeland?
Well, I guess that we're all heroes, in life. So no matter in what field actually that we're going to, we're all heroes, and we all want to make an impact, even though it's a lower level and a higher level. Me, I was born and raised in Canada. The reason why I want to do and have a major impact as well on the country through the exportation of products, it's just because Haiti has huge potential. We live in a first world country, and we have the buying power. We're able to purchase things, and we have the spending power. So when you have that, you realize that whatever you buy and whatever you choose to buy will have an impact on other population. And by bringing this coffee back on the market, we're literally saying to the people that, oh, you have a product that was actually well known 300 years ago, and that was actually exporting and producing half of the coffee of the world was coming from Haiti.
It now?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So 2/3 of the world production of coffee was coming from Haiti. So you have an unknown story that needs to be told, and people that needs to be aware of the history of Haiti and say, you know what, I want to buy this brand, I want to buy this product because I know literally that would have an impact economically on the farmers and on the country of Haiti. Yeah. So it's a mission that we're going to do together with the people in Haiti, the roasting, the farmers, the distribution company as well that actually sell the same product in USA, and here us in Canada. And it's only working jointly with Haitian, who are willing to do good for Haiti, and the diaspora needs to go back in Haiti, invest in Haiti, and trying to make this country flourish again.
Wow, a brand with a conscience. I love it. Love it. Man.
Yeah, definitely. Mokafe is not just a brand just to sell a brand. Mokafe is the brand because it's a coffee of a nation coming back on the market. And that
sounds like a slogan to me, man. That sounds awesome. Did you write that down? Thank God we just taped that, because we're going to be going back saying, what did he say? What did Hamilton say? That was awesome. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Now tell me about people can get your coffee on Amazon, correct?
On Amazon.ca, Mokafe Canada. For the people of United States watching us, they can purchase the coffee on Amazon.com.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you brought it up before about living in affluent countries, right? Where we live in a place of abundance.
Yeah.
Which comes with its great side, and it comes with its downside, however people would like to look at it. We try to create entrepreneurs here, right? I think people have a little bit more leisure. They have a bigger safety net to explore entrepreneurship, right? Because, as we know, entrepreneurship often has its failures. One of the questions that I want to ask, and I always try to articulate it properly, because I find it hard to get the right words for this, because there's all these gray areas in life. We know there's failure, and we often are exposed to quotes, books, success starts with failure. That all sounds great, except when you're going through failure. The rational side is, we learn from our failures. We get up and we keep trying and we become better. We emerge a stronger person because of our failures. And I do agree with much of that. But when you're going through failure that can come from entrepreneurship, especially living in a Western culture where we've built this mindset that says, if you fail, it's a meritocracy, right? You get what you put in.
Yeah.
And your success is only limited by your ability to see your own success. And I think that's important in a Western culture, because people can get lazy here, right? All our basics are met, with our fridge is full. We have a good life, even if you're at the slightly lower end of the spectrum in economically, we still have it far better off than many other countries. So I think having this thing that stirs up the sauce a bit and tells people, you have to envision a better life for yourself. So it gets you kind of fired up, gets you more creative. You go out, you try something, and in certain cases you fail.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
That creates a sense of sometimes humiliation. Sometimes you feel like you can't face people. Sometimes it puts you in a very dark place, because nonetheless, rationally, we know we learn from our failures, but when you're in it, it's painful, and nothing can remove the reality of that. As an entrepreneur, you've mentioned to me that you've tried a number of things in your life, and you're a real go-getter. What do you do to help yourself through those dark moments or the risk to put your neck out on the line? We have your brand here. We've displayed it. Hamilton represents Mokafe. You're putting your neck out there. You're telling people, this is what I do. This is what I'm going after. Mm-hmm. And now it's all on the line. How are you so brave, man?
I just keep pushing myself and motivate myself every morning just to be sharp mentally, and just to always focus on the positive side of what can happen. And it's a long-term process. You don't think, about, making big sales in 1 year, 2 years. Even if it takes 10 years, it's about, going against the grain and trying to make this product well known. That's it.
Yeah.
And once you actually think about the mission of bringing back the coffee, that's it. Sales will come, and you will actually meet interesting people like you, Sean.
I am hella interesting.
Exactly. And and other people too. And it's about spreading the mission and being passionate about the product, When you're an entrepreneur, you have to create a mission out of it, because the mission helps you to think bigger. It helps you to get away from your own ego maybe and think of the bigger outcomes that are possible. Yes, definitely. And it's a numbers game too, huh? Yeah. Like the more people that you will talk about your brand to, the more impact that you're trying to project in the universe.
For me, one of the reasons that I created this podcast was I wanted to help not just young people, but, there is a concern that I have that, as back to the point that I was making before about, success starts with failure. And though we can all say that, when you're going through it, it's very painful. And one of my concerns is that we have innovative people out there who have so much potential, but because they might have gone through a dark period, or I don't like the term failure. We got to come up with another term for that, because it's just so bad.
Yeah,
it's just such a bad term, but we're using it in the context of this conversation as failure, meaning you didn't succeed at a particular endeavor that you set out to succeed in. I'm concerned that because society, especially, I can only speak for Western society. I live in Canada, and I can only speak for this. I've read, and as I see, it seems to be a situation in Western culture that there's not a lot of tolerance to failure. There really isn't. And I'm concerned that people try things, not succeed, and they're broken. They feel judged. They feel that they don't know how to go forward, because I personally don't believe there's a lot of tolerance for failure in our culture. I think because it's a meritocracy, you get what you get because of the choices and the things you've done. It's all your fault. And I think that's pretty tricky. What would you say to somebody who's going through, like right now, somebody out there just failed at something and they feel judged. They feel it, man. And it's not their imagination.
It's about overcoming your insecurities, because we will always have insecurities in our own life. That's the human experience. Self-esteem also.
That's a good point. So, because my feelings are that because we live in a society of abundance, even like I said, even if people want to think that they don't have enough, we just need to travel to some countries not that far away, and we'll see we've got a lot. We've got a lot. So when people try something and they don't succeed, it's really not the financial implications, or it's that fragility of the self-esteem that gets the hit.
the fear, fear of failing at something that really matters to you. It takes a lot of mental strength, and you just need to be sharp mentally and to be.
So how do you stay sharp mentally? What do you do?
Well, I train a lot. I
train a lot.
Yeah, I train a lot.
Shows.
Yeah. Thank you,
You
man.
wore a long sleeve because you didn't want to intimidate me over here.
Thanks, man. But you're a trainer too, so
I try my best.
Yeah, and I do a lot of yoga too.
Oh.
Yeah, Bikram yoga at the Centre Inspire on the South Shore, actually, and it's a really good place. And I do yoga on a regular basis. Yeah. So it helps me to be sharp mentally, because yoga is all about, the connection, the mind, the body, and the soul. And it just strengthens your mind every single time that you're going into, that you're entering into the room, in the class, and with the heat as well. It makes you stronger.
When I first met you, I was like really captivated by your personality. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I notice in everybody. Yeah. Like, my head is, I'm not judging anyone, but I'm like, man, that's a happy guy. Man, that's an unhappy
I'm always
person.
happy, man.
Yeah,
always smiling. And
I want to be clear if I say, man, that's one unhappy dude. Like, I'm not judging, but I'm recognizing how people are showing up to the world all the time. Yeah. Because to me, it's really important to show up to the world with our best foot forward, because the world shouldn't have to be burdened with my particular problems. How we show up is important. How do you show up so well in your day-to-day life? What is it that you do that allows you to do that?
I don't know. I think I'm a very happy guy. I come from a very good environment, which helped me a lot to stay focused and have a lot of role models, around me. I want to have an impact in this world, and that everyone should do too. What's the point of just putting negative vibes in this world? We need self-transformation as human being, and we need to be more friendly with each other. You need to have this state of mind on a daily basis, even if you're negative in your bank account, because it's your mindset. Instead of stressing about money, will have a more positive view of the future about what you can achieve and what you can get, even though that you're struggling right now. Yeah. So it's not about having a positive mindset every single time, even in your low moments. It's about the long-term process, but it's about also that I live a human experience and I need to transform myself. But by being just comfortable and just doing lazy stuff, I'm not transforming myself. I'm not challenging myself enough. Yeah. Some people, they want a very comfortable life, and it's fine. But they know deep down, that they could do much better and much more stuff than what they're doing right now, just because of fear. We all have fear, man. Yeah. It's part of the human nature. We cannot get rid of it. And even most of the big businessmen, they still have fears.
Yeah. In those cases, that's where I really adhere and believe in that expression of, if you can see it, you can achieve it, you know? Because for us, we have fairly soft lives. Even people who think life is hard for everybody. Like, right off I heard Jordan Peterson say, the moment you're born, life is hard. Yeah. And I'm very positive. I'm a super optimistic person, but life is hard. But for us here, it tends to be pretty soft. And we got to be very careful about falling into these comfortable slumps, because we're actually doing a disservice, because we should be using our comfort to envision more, because our safety net is bigger once again, and the risks are not as high, and our brain is a little bit ready for thinking about other things, because the basics of life are already being met. And once that's done, your levels of concentration and focus, actually, it shows in research, really shoots up, because your mind is not like torn on stress. So people, what do? They create stresses, right? Yeah. When you don't have stress, you create them.
Yeah, you create them. You create them, and you overthink, and you create them because you don't, like, you're not feeling comfortable, and because you have a fear about something that could work, but because you're uncertain, you're like, oh yeah, but imagine like I failed, but I mean, it just you just fail and it's fine, and you're just trying to find another thing, and like perfect. We have there's like the worst thing that you can do, like Gary Vaynerchuk was saying, is that you just find another shitty job and you just start over and you hustle more and you have a side hustle and trying to make it as a profitable business.
So to the Mokafe King, I want to thank you for coming in here, sharing your story with us, and I'm going to put in the show notes how people can get in touch with you and find out more about your brand. So Hamilton, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you a lot. Yeah.
You have an awesome day, dude.
Thanks, you too.
And you guys have an awesome day too.
See you guys.